we're going to be using the Urban Decay Stay Naked Foundation again, but it's really going to get put to the test because I don't know if you've paid attention in other videos. I don't really do outside. I don't do outside. Today I'm going to the farmer's market with my daughter and my sister, and so that involves being, you know, outside and walking around outside, which means I can't avoid direct sunlight. So we're going to see what happens. I've already put on eye primer. I haven't put on regular primer yet, or even moisturizer. This is just grapeseed oil. Okay, so now I've thrown on my grapeseed oil, because even though I'm an oily beast, if I don't have a moisturized face, I will shoot out even more oils. Yes, the eye primer is on. Let's see, so for primer today, let's use, well, it's a matte foundation, so I don't want to mattify my face. I'm going to use this Optical Illusion complexion primer. This isn't like the mattifying Stay Put one. This is, well, my words are all over the place. This is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. It's the smoothing and perfecting one, but it's not mattifying or anything. Because I'm going to pre-powder. I'm using the mattifying foundation. Don't want to dry my face out too much. Okay, so my face is primed. Now I'm going to use this Ulta Full Coverage Liquid Concealer, waterproof, in the shade Dark Neutral, to conceal my spots. So I'm going to blend out my concealer. Okay, I used way too much concealer. I'm going to set my concealer with my RCMA No Color Powder. And I'm like really pressing that in. And now that I have it pressed into all the spots where I put the concealer, I'm just going to pat it around the rest of my face and then smooth it out. Okay, let's move on to this foundation. Now we've got this Urban Decay Stay Naked in the shade 80CG. And I'm starting off with 3 pumps because that's like the minimum for me. I got some that sprayed out on my thumb, so I'm just throwing that on. And if it looks like I'm in a weird position, I'm using a double-sided mirror and I don't want to like flash all over the place, so just trying to keep the mirror from flashing into the phone. And I'm just bouncing that in and out. I'm not like dragging or anything, just bounce, 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 bounce. But I am doing it pretty forcefully to press everything in. Okay, I think if I hadn't powdered my face, that probably would have been enough. But the product just didn't move around as much as I wanted because, you know, I got soaked up by the powder in some spots. So I'm going to use 2 more. So, yep, that is 5 pumps, which is, I think, about average for what I've been using for this foundation. A little more than I would prefer based on the cost, but whatever. I'm just making sure to put it nearer the areas that I wanted more coverage. Then I'm going to bounce that out. I think that's pretty good. Again, it's obviously lighter and brighter than my upper neck, deeper than my lower neck and chest. But if I turn this way, you can see this arm, the one that gets more sun, it matches, like, you know, the mid part of my arm, and then the lower part, it's lighter than my lower part of my arm, which gets the most sun. And that's where you can see where that bluish plumish color seems to come out more as the darker I get. So, and then you can check against the arm that doesn't get color because I don't go outside. Hold on, don't want to get my back fat in there. And then on this side you can see it it matches with the parts that get a little bit more sun than the other part because I don't really go outside. So this is the side that's covered when I'm in my car. So it matches like the darker part of my non-sun exposed arm and the lighter part of my sun exposed arm. And actually my mid chest gets some sun. is kind of like almost that color, but like the parts that don't get any sun, so you should make something like this. Yeah, so I don't know. For an overall match, I think this is pretty good. And this is on depth. If the undertone looks funky or something, let's see. I'm gonna blend back out my eye primer. Okay, and then of course I do want to try to balance my face to match these lighter and darker spots. And most likely won't have much coverage like I normally do at work. I'm gonna be less covered because I'm gonna be outside and I don't like being hot. So I really want to make sure I have, you know, some color balances. So I'm using the Youthful Glow Concealer in the shade Tan Cool to highlight. I'll just balance and bring some of the lightness back up here. So now I'm going to blend out my highlight concealer. Now I'm going to set my highlight with my Midnight Pretty Pink powder. And because I will likely be outside, I am using an excessive amount of powder to bake. So I want it to absorb as much of the oils and sweat that's probably going to be coming out on my face. Because I'm sweaty, I'm oily. I'm already actually sweating. And it's like 10:30 in the morning, and I'm indoors with the fan on in Alaska. Just thinking about using a cream contour, but no. Don't want any extra things that can slide around on my face. So I'm using my Ben Nye Ebony powder to contour. And then I'm also going to use this as my crease color today. Which I used to do when I first started contouring. I used to always just use whatever I was contouring with as my crease color. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my eyes. I want to look like me, but I also don't want to look like I don't belong outside. By, you know, using something too heavy or crazy that I just don't like outside. In the meantime, put on some lip primer. You know, I haven't even committed myself to wearing lip color yet, but I'm putting some lip primer anyway. Well, I really don't have time. My sister's waiting for me. I'm just gonna throw some eyeshadows on my face. And I know I'm wearing jeans, but I don't even know what color shirt I'm gonna wear today. Because this one's obviously gonna have to be changed now. I'm gonna use Harvest Brown by Coastal Scents for my base eyeshadow. I'm gonna use Level Up from Colored Rain as my transition color, because why not? Now I'm gonna use Python Green from Coastal Scents right above and into my transition. That's not too crazy, right? Right. I'm going to use Prehistoric Green by Coastal Scents for my lid. Okay, and then I'm going to use the brush end that I used to put on the Python Green and just smooth that out. Not doing exactly what I wanted, so I'm spraying my brush with the Pro Fix from Revolution. And I'm going back into Prehistoric Green to make it a paint, basically. Okay, that's more like it. I needed more opaque and more concentrated. Which I probably would have done that if I would have just put that down directly on my eyeshadow base instead of the other colors. But meh. Okay, so now I just wiped off my brush, so it's dry. I'm going back into Prehistoric Green. So just buff that color on dry, just to make sure it sets easily. And I'm going into Mossy from AOA Studios. Just on my... Okay, my son called me in the middle of that. He's out camping with his brother and my husband. My daughter decided to stay home with me because we're both like, why? That's my girl. But anyway, I was just blending out this outer crease color. I think I'll stop there just so I'm not wasting too much time. That's good enough, right? Right. Okay, I'm gonna buff off my bake and whatever fallout I have on my face. I wanted to use a more intense blush, but I don't know where my blushes really are right now. This one shows up pretty light. Well, not light and like, it's not a light color. It's kind of sheer. There we go. This is the Artisan Color Baked Blush in the shade Raspberry from Black Radiance. It's pretty, I just wish it was more intense. Because, you know, I put my other powder on top, and I'm not going to change the process for doing my makeup for one blush. Because then if I accidentally do it another time and I'm using the wrong blush, I'll end up looking like a clown. So I put this on under, and then blend with my powder. Because powder is a thing, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to use my Ben Nye Nutmeg powder. And I'm going to use my RC Mano color powder. I'm actually just going to use the brush I used to put on my brown powder because it's in my hand and I just don't feel like putting it down. So I'm extra hitting these areas where I sweat the most, which is my temples. And then for some reason my upper jaw. And this is my transfer area, which is my lower jaw and chin. And then my nose is my sweaty, oily area. So I'm gonna let that sit and align my lips. This is Dark Brown by NYX. I'm gonna dust off my powder. Use rose water. I haven't decided if I'm going to do anything with my hair yet or not, so I just reversed my multi-scarf, whatever it's called, since I got white powder all over the front of that other one, or the other side. I set my face with the Pro Fixing Spray, and I will be back. I gotta find something to wear, and I gotta put some lip color on. So I'll be back. So I've opted to not do my hair after all. So whatever, screw it. Probably a bad idea to wear a black t-shirt, but I couldn't figure out what else I wanted to wear. So I let the setting spray dry on my face. I need to put something on my lips. I don't know, looks like the liner blended up pretty decently, so I'm just gonna use a gloss. This is the Butter Balm Lip Gloss from Ulta in the shade Belle. Mind you, I still have foundation and powder and stuff on my lips. So basically, it just kind of makes this like a nudish deal. Oh, and I don't know what's going on with my face. I just went to go rub this right here, and I am crusting up like crazy in my little mustachy area. That's not cute. Great. Great. Take my brush. Okay, this is not a cute look, but you know, whatever. This is just going to see how the foundation holds up with me being outside, and as you can see, since I turned back on the camera after changing, I've already started sweating again. So yeah, we'll see how it holds up. It is now 10:56. I don't know how long I'm going to be outside for, because usually I just tell you how many hours it's been since whatever, because, you know, in regular day I'm just going to work, so I know my times for things, but I usually don't leave the house on the weekends. So I'm just letting you know what time it is now, so that when I check in later, we can do the math later. So 10:56. And also this dry, ghosty look, that will settle down once my oils and sweat starts coming out on the lower part of my face. So I'm not worried about the powder. I may regret it later, but right now I'm not worried because usually I know what happens with my face. Oh my gosh, so you can even see the steam rising in my glasses from my sweatiness. You see that? That's steam. That's how hot I am. And it's even coming up on this side too. So I try to tell people I run hot, but no one believes me. Okay, so we just got back. It is 6:48, so I've been gone almost about 8 hours. We didn't go to the farmer's market for too long, thank goodness, because that was hot. But we went into school shopping and just did some regular shopping stuff, and this is how I look. I am like super matte, and actually so matte that I should not have used that RCMA No Color setting powder, because I don't know if you can tell I look, oh, just a little ashy. It's not like it's too light. I just look a little ashy, and it's definitely that powder. And since the foundation is so matte, I guess I just didn't need it. And then I don't know. It looks like my creasing or wrinkles or whatever, my forehead are a little bit more prominent. And then I did have a lot of weird cakiness only right here though. I don't know, it could be just like where the powder and the foundation and everything else just mixed in and got stuck in creases, and then also in my hair, facial hair. But so the foundation is super matte, and you probably don't need to set it with anything, just so you know, because this is 8 hours, and I did spend a decent amount of time outside in the sun, which I don't normally do, and in a hot car, and I did a lot of walking and shopping and sweating, and everything stayed intact. That's it.